我所在的位置呢，就是这一次七国集团峰会的新闻中心，处于意大利南部的普利亚大区的首府城市巴黎市。那么这一次七国集团峰会被认为是在非常困难时刻召开，面临重重挑战。首先呢，是因为全球冲突正酣，包括乌克兰危机和巴以冲突。那么中东局势也让美国和一些欧洲国家产生了裂痕。其次，这次七国集团峰会或许会是许多国家领导人的最后一次峰会了。美国总统拜登、法国总统马克龙以及英国首相苏纳克都将面临选举。此外呢，德国总理舒尔茨所在的执政党在刚刚过去的欧洲议会选举当中惨败。最后呢，就是在经济、气候和全球南方等这些问题还没有解决的情况下，人工智能带来的新的威胁也将成为这一次七国集团峰会的聚焦议题。
Well, I would say the G7 very broadly actually agree on how they view China. They see the need for reducing dependency, economic dependency from China. They still broadly see also China as somewhat of a solution to global problems, to global issues such as climate change. But of course, I would argue the biggest difference is between the Europeans and the US side. Because the US, as we all know, they would like to see the other G7 members to stand firm with the US approach. And of course, for some Europeans, in particular, when I look to Germany, we see that, there is still some uncertainty in how far we are ready to go to, for instance, criticize China or to impose some certain tariffs and so on and so forth. So I think there will be broad agreement that the G7 should come out with a strong China language, but I do think that it might not be as strong and forceful as maybe the US would want it to be, because European countries, but probably also others such as Canada that are also part of the G7 still see also the need to maintain some sort of cooperation with China on some issues.
The Chinese president was in Hungary, but also in France recently, meeting with Macron. There was a huge volume of economic, a big economic package between those two countries, so they don't have an interest of punishing China or having punitive tariffs. Germany the same. Right before Xi Jinping's trip to Europe, the German Chancellor Scholz visited China and reaffirmed that the German companies are going to stay. The German companies, according to polls, are saying that 90% of them are saying that China is an excellent market. We need to stay in China, otherwise we're going to lose a lot of the competitive edge. You have the same sentiment among American industrial leaders. They don't want to lose China. The supply chains between China and the US are very much intertwined. I think it's more the foreign policy elite in Washington. They are very much detached from reality. They are fed by the mainstream media, their think tanks, the universities, and this is the actual policy that is harmful also for the US and other G7 countries.